Hey folks, in this episode I'm going to show you how to get the correct colour tones for common metals used in the commercial industry, and we're going to compile those colour tones into this node group, which we can then mark as an asset, and then you'll be able to import this node group into any Blender scene and you'll be able to get the correct colour tone for your metals every time. So without further ado, let's get to it. Open up Blender, we're going to navigate to Edit, Preferences and go to Add-ons, and in the Search tab search for Node and then enable the Node Wrangler here. Once you've done that, click this button and click Save Preferences, and that will ensure the Node Wrangler loads every time you load Blender. I'm in the layout view up here, so I'm just going to open up a new window. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom left until I see a crosshair. I'll then left click and drag up and open up a new window. I'll then change this window from the 3D viewport to the shader editor. Excellent. I'm just going to select this default cube for now. You should have a default material set already. If not, just click new and we'll rename this to Metallic Color Tones. I'll just hit N to hide the N panel. I'm going to drag this window up. I'm going to zoom in. I'll then hit Shift A. I'm going to go Input and I'm going to choose RGB and I pop that there. I'll just zoom into this RGB node here. And the way we're going to input the color tones is if we click this swatch here, you can see that we've got this hex value. So this is a code for the color tone. So if I move around on the color wheel, you can see that the hex value changes. Each metal has its own unique tone, which means it has its own unique hex code. You could spend ages on Google scouring the internet for various different hex codes for different metals, but to save you the bother, I've created this PDF here, and this contains all the common metals used in the commercial industry, all the way from aluminium to zinc. I've also included the RGB values. This won't match up in Blender because RGB values are slightly different in Blender. So normally an RGB value would go from 0 to 256, whereas Blender goes 0 to 1, as I'll just show you here. So if I just drag this out of the way, I'll then click this swatch, and you can see if I go to RGB and turn red up, it only goes to 1, whereas on the RGB values on the PDF should go up to 256. So we're going to use the hex codes for this. So I'll just drag my PDF across. We'll start off with the top one, which is aluminium. So I'm just going to highlight the hex code for aluminium. I'll then hit Ctrl C to copy. I'll then navigate over to my RGB node over here. I'll click this box. I'll then hit Ctrl V and that will paste the hex value into there. Once we've pasted the hex code into this box, you'll see that it's added a double F. Don't worry about that. That's just for the alpha. So now this RGB node is the color of aluminium. With this RGB node selected, I'm going to hit F2 and I'm going to rename it to aluminium. I'll then hit Shift D, Y. I'm going to hold down Control to snap it in increments and I'll pop it down there. In fact, instead of holding down Control to snap it, I'm just going to go to the top right up here and enable this snap tool. And now for this second RGB node, I'll navigate to my metal color PDF. In fact, let's just drag this over here. Maybe I can make this a bit smaller. I'll then take Blender. I'm going to double click the top bar and I'm just going to make this a bit smaller. Over to there. Okay, for this next node, this is going to be brass. So I'm going to hit F2 and I'll type in brass. I'll then highlight the hex code for brass. I'll hit Ctrl C. I'll then navigate to the brass color swatch. I'll then left click in the hex code box. I'll hit Ctrl V. I'll then hit Enter. I'll then hit Shift D to duplicate and I'm going to drag this down to round about there. So for this next one, this is going to be bronze. So I'll hit F2 and I'm going to type in bronze. I'll then navigate to the PDF. I'm going to highlight the hex code for bronze. I'll hit Ctrl C to copy. I'm going to go into the color swatch for the bronze. I'll then left click in the hex code box and hit Ctrl V and hit Enter. I'm going to continue this process for all of these metals and I'll get right back to you when I'm done. Okay, so we've got 21 different tones for metal. I'm just going to neaten up this top one. So you should have all these color swatches here. Okay, I've finished with this PDF, so I can close this now. Again, you can download this free from my Patreon. I'll leave a link in the description and maybe keep it for future reference. I'll now box select all of these color tones. I'm going to hit Ctrl G and that will create a node group. I'm going to zoom in. In fact, I'm just going to take this group output here. I'm going to hit G. I'll just bring this up to here just to make it a bit easier to work. I'll then connect the aluminium into this empty socket. I'll connect the brass into this next socket. I'll connect the bronze. I'll connect the chromium. And we're just going to do this all the way down until all of them are connected. So now that all of these are connected, we just have to name these sockets. So I'm going to hit N to open up the N panel. I'll then navigate to the top right and click this group tab up here. And these are all our sockets. So maybe I can expand this just to make it a bit bigger so we can see everything in the window. And we're just going to work our way up. So instead of typing all the names in here, I'm just going to copy and paste. So I'm going to select this aluminium node here. I'm going to hit F2. I'll then hit Control C to copy that name. I'll then navigate to my group sockets. I'll double click the top color and I'll hit Control V. I'll then hit Enter. And now you can see it's named this top socket is aluminium. And for the next one, I'll select my brass color swatch. I'm going to hit F2. I'll hit Control C to copy that name. I'll then navigate to my group sockets over here. I'll double click the second color. I'll hit Control V and then hit Enter. I'll demonstrate that one more time. So I'll select the bronze node. I'll then hit F2. I'll then hit Control C to copy the name. I'll navigate to my group sockets over here. I'll then double click the color socket, hit Control V and then hit Enter. I'm going to do the same for all of these metal colors here and I'll get right back to you. So when you've done that, it's a good idea to double check that you've got everything correct. Okay, all is looking good. I'll then hit N to hide the N panel. I'll then hit Tab to exit out of group view. And this is our node here. I'm just going to hit G and I'm going to bring it up to where my principal BSDF is. Maybe I'll expand this window. I'll just navigate into viewport shading. I'm going to set this to metallic and I'm going to change the roughness to, let's say, 0.25. I'll just check that this works. So I'm going to plug in bronze into the base color. Maybe I'll take the roughness down. I'll plug in chromium. Okay, it's looking quite good. Maybe gold. So with this node group selected, I'm going to hit N to open up the N panel. And under the node tab over here, where it says name, I'm going to change the name to real metal color. I'll then highlight that name. I'll hit Control C to copy. I'll then paste it into this label socket here. Control V. And under properties, where it says node group, I'm also going to paste the name here. So now, if I go to my node, and I'm going to make it slightly bigger, you can see that real metal color should appear at the top and at the bottom. If you're wondering why my node group is a different color, that's because I changed it in my preferences. So I went to Edit, Preferences, Themes, Node Editor, scroll down until you see Group Node. So if I change its color, you can see that it's changing the color of the group node. Also, I'm actually going to give this node a color. So in your N panel, where it says Node, enable color, expand these options, and now we can choose a custom color which we want the node to be. So I'm going to choose something around maybe there perhaps. Maybe I can rename the cube, which is the base holder for the node group. So in my outliner, I'm going to double click the cube and I'll rename it to real metal color. Obviously, this is just the color tones. So to make the metal look real, you are going to have to manipulate some of the other factors like your roughness values with a roughness map, bump map, displacement map. And another important part would be under your specular, the anisotropic values, which I believe only really work in cycles. So let's just change my render engine from Eevee to cycles. I'll just quickly go into rendered view. I'll then click this button. I'll disable scene lights and scene world. So then we'll be using the default HDRI. So for example, if I was to add aluminium and then I add a bit of roughness. So let me just zoom into the top here. So now if I add the anisotropic values, you should see what happens to the top. It kind of like simulates bounces of light for something that's come off a lathe machine. So if you imagine a disc that's been lathed and it has several little grooves, it will have this anisotropic effect at the top here. You can kind of see the gradient and you can also change the rotation of that. I'll just hit N to hide the N panel. So obviously for a good metal you're going to have to play with all these values. This real metal color node group only provides the actual color of the metal. It won't do anything else. Another good tip is, say like I've got gold in the base color, for example. Obviously you get different types of gold and they're slightly different tones based on the impurities in the gold. So for this, all I'll do is hit Shift A, I'll go to color, and I'll choose hue saturation and I'll pop that in between the real metal color node and the principal BSDF, and then I can reduce the saturation or increase it to my preference. Now we need to mark this as an asset, but before we do that you want to save your Blender file. So I'll click File, I'm going to go Save As. I'm going to save my project as Like and Subscribe. Thanks folks, you absolute legends. And then click Save As. Remember the location where you saved your blend file We'll then go to Edit, Preferences, and then under File Paths, where it says Asset Libraries, we're going to click this button here. You're going to locate the folder where you saved your Blender file. I saved mine in this file here. I'll then click Add to Asset Library. I'll click this button here. I'll click Save Preferences. I'll then close this window here. I'll then navigate to my outliner over here. I'm going to click this icon and I'm going to change it from View Layer to Blender File. I'll then navigate down to where it says Node Groups. I'll expand those options. I'll then left click the Real Metal Color node group. I'm going to right click and I'll choose Mark as Asset. I'll then navigate to the top of my outliner. I'll click this button and I'm going to change it from Blender File to View Layer, and that will restore the outliner as we normally recognize it. I'll then take my cursor into the shader editor, in fact the top left hand side of the shader editor, until I see a crosshair. I'll left click and I'm going to drag across over to here to open up a new window. I'll then change this from the shader editor to the asset browser. I'll then change this from all libraries to current file, and you should see the Real Metal Color node group here. I'll just show you how to give this a custom thumbnail. So I'm just going to expand my 3D viewport. I'm going to hit numpad 1 to go into front view. Have I got a camera in the scene? Yep, excellent. So I'm going to take the default light. I'm going to hit delete. And with this cube object selected, which has got a subdivision surface at level 5, I'm going to hit numpad 1, numpad period to zoom into that object. I'll then hit Control Alt numpad 0, and that will align my camera to the 3D viewport. I'll then go to my output settings over here, and I'm going to change the resolution to 512 by 512. I'll select my camera. I'm going to go to my object data. I'm just going to bring this in a bit closer to maybe something around there. I'll set the Z value to 0. I'll then click this button here. I'm going to choose Scene World and Scene Lights. I'll then navigate to my shader editor. I'm going to change this from Object to World, and with my background selected, I'm going to hit Control T, and that will add a texture coordinate node, a mapping node, and an environment texture node. I'll then click Open, navigate to an HDRI. You can download free HDRs from Polyhaven. I'll just select this Abandoned Hall 01 8K HDR. I'll click Open Image. I'll navigate to my render settings over here. I'll scroll down and I'm going to expand the film. I'll enable transparent. I'll navigate to my compositing tab up here. I'm going to click Use Nodes, drag my render layers over here. I'm going to hit Shift A. I'm going to go Color, Mix, and we'll choose Alpha Over. And I'll pop that in between there. I'm going to plug the image in the bottom socket, and I'll set the top image socket to black. Under my render settings, I'm just going to change the max samples to, let's say, 512. I'll keep the noise threshold at 0.01. I'm going to expand the lights options and disable light tree. I'll expand the light paths, and I'm going to disable reflective and refractive caustics. I'll go back to my layout view over here. I'm going to go to viewport shading. I'll hit F12 just to render out that image. When that's rendered, go to Image, Save As. Save it in the same file location where you saved your blend file. I'm going to rename this image to Real Metal Color Thumbnail. I'm going to change it from PNG to JPEG. I'll then click Save As Image. So I'll just close that render. And now back in your asset browser with your Real Metal Color node group asset selected, navigate to the top right and toggle on this gear. Then where it says preview, you see this folder icon. Click this and then you should see your thumbnail. If you don't see it, just navigate to the folder where you saved it and then select that thumbnail and click Load Custom Preview. And now, as you can see, your thumbnail should be saved on your asset in your asset library. So I'm going to take my cursor to the shader editor, go to the top left of the shader editor until I see the crosshair. I'll left click, drag across and collapse that window. I'm going to change it from World to Object. I'll then hit Control S to save that project. So now you can open up your asset browser in any scene and use this metallic color node group in any of your projects. You can also hit F12 and choose Append and then append the node tree. Either which way is good. Join me on Patreon as a free member and you'll have access to this file alongside other Blender files from previous tutorials. That's the tutorial in a nutshell. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please click like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. Have a great day, level up, and thanks for watching.